Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Honestly, had a pretty good weekend. Can't wait to get into it. So, let's go and jump on. Thank you so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time, here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling. So we have a great show for you today on tap. Today we're going to talk about my WWE Smackdown review. We're going to have my Monday Night Raw preview. Then we're going to talk about the men's top 10 power rankings, my wrestling weekly power rankings. We're going to talk about that. And also, we're going to talk about the women's in segment 4. And then segment 5, we're going to wrap it all up with my Memorial Monday. We're going to talk about Afa Anoa'i, the member of the Samoan dynasty that is, the Mayaveas, the Fatus, the Inois, passed away recently at the age of 81. So we're going to talk about a little bit about his career and stuff like that. So it's going to be totally awesome. But before we get on into any of that, I want to remind you guys to use this super chat box, because hit up the super chat box. Give me your super stickers because you guys are 1,010% super awesome. That's always 1,010%. We honestly, here on the show, guys, we love hearing from you guys 1,010%. If you have a burning question or if you have a hot take in terms of professional wrestling, make sure, honestly, you hit up this super chat box. We are all ears here at the GSMC Sports Network. This show is about keeping the conversation lively, making sure your voice is part of the mix, so don't be shy. Drop your thoughts in the chat, and if you really want to make sure your comment or question gets noticed, why not use that super chat box? Just hit the $sign below the chat box, send in your message, and it's guaranteed to get featured on the show. Plus, it's a great way to support our channel. Your super chat helps us keep the lights on and bring you even more awesome wrestling content that you love so much. We are so grateful for each and every one of you who joins us here on this podcast. Your support makes a lot of a difference. So let's keep this conversation going. Let's keep the party going. Let's let the good times roll, so to speak. Send in those super chats, send in those super stickers because you guys are super awesome. And together we will make sure this show is awesome and better than ever. And if the super chat thing, if it's not your thing, we are still at the gsmcpodcast.net. Hit up that tips and donations link. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Superman punch the like and subscribe button to the show. Also, follow the show, follow the network at the GSMC Sports Network, and give you the Eric Rodriguez guarantee that you will never, ever, 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 ever regret doing so, because we have a lot of awesome podcasts, and it's 1,010% free. So honestly, you guys really have nothing to lose here. So let's go ahead and talk about our first segment, which is going to be WWE Smackdown review. All in all, it was a pretty good Smackdown. It was, it was a great Smackdown. It kept me on the edge of my seat, which is obviously, the point of it. So of course you had Tiffany Stratton put on a celebration for Nia Jax. Nia Jax obviously looking like she absolutely despised it. It looked like she hated it. Nia Jax, not liking what Tiffany Stratton did not like the fact that she did not bow down when she said it. I like the fact that Tiffany Stratton, she kind of did everything she can to kind of avoid it, which, kind of lingers, in wrestling minds, that she could possibly, cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Nia Jax sooner rather than later. And I don't know, I just believe that. I just believe that because, you did not see her get, down on one knee so quick. Obviously, Nia Jax, part of the Samoan dynasty that is the Anoa'i family. Um, Usually you're kind of used to kind of people doing things at your own will. You're like wrestling loyalty, and Tiffany Stratton, I gotta be honest, I liked it. I like the fact that that right away she did not bow down. I think it kind of foreshadows her cashing in on Nia Jax. I'm not too sure if Asher Berlin. It would be amazing. I don't honestly think Nia Jax has an opponent, to speak of in terms of, Basher Berlin. Maybe perhaps we have, Bailey invoking her rematch clause. Perhaps maybe that could be, where they're trying to go. maybe Bianca Belair, Jade. But Jade and Bianca seem like they're pretty content with winning the WWE Women's Tag Team Titles back. So I'm not too sure how far that's going to go. But in terms of SmackDown, the main event, I really honestly don't see anybody that would fight Nia Jax besides maybe Bayley. I feel like Bayley's going to invoke her rematch clause, and then unless Charlotte Flair makes a return, unless Charlotte Flair makes a return back to the WWE, she's ready. She's gearing. She's been hitting. She's been getting she's been dropping hints on her social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. So it's gonna happen. But Lord only knows what's gonna happen next. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then you saw Michin come in with a kendo stick. I'm not so fond of Michin. I think she's a great competitor, 1010%. But every single match she fights, I feel I don't want her to fight Nia Jax for the WWE World Women's Champion, the WWF, dang it, the WWE Women's World Championship at Bash at Berlin. I don't really see the point in that, but I don't know. Should be interesting. Should be interesting. Next, we had Andrade taking on Carmelo Hayes. Uh, you know, they fought. This is their third bout. Andrade has got the best of Carmelo Hayes twice. Carmelo Hayes is in the head of Andrade. Such a young, such a promising superstar. 1010%. I honestly believe in the best of Carmelo Hayes. I think he's definitely the future of what WWE SmackDown has to offer. As a main event card, perhaps, but much more. I don't. He's had some stints with the United States champion LA Knight in the past, so there could possibly be like a shadowing of a maybe like a triple threat match: Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and LA Knight at Bash of Berlin. That would be pretty damn cool. So definitely looking forward to that. Next, we had a solo Sikoa. We had a solo promo. He said, you will acknowledge him. You would acknowledge him. I will too if he takes these from me. Of course, he's, talking about the necklace of the tribal chief, the red chilies they put around their neck and stuff like that. This was, to be honest, this was kind of big with me. This was kind of big. Like, as I was like watching it, kind of analyzing a little bit, I was like, why? It seems like when Sikoa, you know, when he had this promo and he was like, look, if Roman Reigns gets these from me, then you have to bow down to him. I will bow. I don't know. It seems like, I don't know, he's already giving up. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm jumping ship too much here, but I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know if he's waving the white flag before, the battle or the civil war between the bloodline actually starts. But I don't know. It was a storyline that, I was like, you know what? I'm not too fond of this. I kind of like Solo's gonna be like, I would never, ever, ever bow down to Roman Reigns because he will never take these from me. I am your true tribal chief. And even Tomatunga was like, okay, like, all right, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. I guess we'll bow now. Like it didn't even seem like he was like, I don't know. But all in all, the promo was a little confusing to me. Maybe kind of illuminating like a little bit of doubt in terms of Solo Sokoa. Obviously, when you saw Jacob Fatu, make his way back into the ring, he was wearing like a walking boot on his right foot. I think it was his right foot. Don't quote me on that. Maybe a little more confidence is, expunged in terms of, the self-proclaimed nowadays tribal chief that we have, Solo Sikoa. So it should be pretty awesome. Next, we saw Naomi defeat Blair. No, we saw Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport got the victory over Naomi. I thought that was pretty key for Davenport's success moving forward in WWE SmackDown. Giovanni Vinci. We had a Giovanni Vinci promo. Last time we saw Giovanni Vinci, he was getting his arse kicked by Ludwig Kaiser, and now he makes it, and now like it seems like he's just like this top dog, this millionaire who acts like he don't stink. And I don't know, for me, I felt like it was a little hard. It was a little hard. It seemed a little, far fetched, maybe a little bit, preliminary in terms of, what are you doing, dude? I'm just kidding. No, but all in all, I was like, if this is the way they're trying to promote Giovanni Vinci on SmackDown, obviously you don't have to deal with Ludwig Kaiser. You don't have to deal with the ring general Gunther. So maybe perhaps, maybe, just maybe we can see Giovanni Vinci, you know, as a main single star on the WWE Smackdown roster. We've never really seen him as a single star. So it should be interesting to find out what this WWE creative team, Triple H, Paul Levesque, does during this, during this new era, when quote unquote everybody here serves a purpose. So it should be interesting to find out what purpose Giovanni Vinci serves. Next, we had a little bit of flexing. WWE was flexing. This is the 36th TV sellout, and it's the 53rd event sellout in 2024, which is pretty big. One of the biggest, one of the best numbers in terms of ratings and audiences and stuff like that, especially in that demographic from age 19 to 42. This is big. This is big, 1,010%. WWE is over the top right now. Don't sell your stocks on WWE, obviously. They're heading toward a great direction under Triple H, Paul Levesque. It only seems like it's going to get better. There's no way in hell it's going to get worse. That's how I feel. Well, I don't know. Honestly, there is a couple of superstars that are kind of, lingering in terms of like contract wise and stuff like that. But those deals could have been very much made under the Vince McMahon era, so to speak. So, not really what Triple H, Paul Levesque was thinking, but I don't know. I feel like the way that they kind of have the ratings right now, it's this new era. It's this new era in terms of WWE. And it's great. The storylines are better. The storytelling is a lot better. You have better morale in the back of the locker room, according to sources. And it's just, I don't know, it's just perfect. It's a perfect time to be a WWE fan. It's a perfect time to be a WWE superstar. 1,010%. Next, we saw Kevin Owens, convincingly defeating Grayson Waller, which is kind of cool. You know what? I haven't seen Kevin Owens in a dominant match like that in a long time. Ever since he won the Universal Championship, and of course he lost it to Bill Goldberg. Woo, big ass mistake. But I don't know. With Kevin Owens having his match against one of the men he respects, Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Champion. Kevin Owens, I don't know. I feel like he is not really the babyface in this kind of predicament. In this match, obviously, you don't really have a babyface heel kind of connection. The match is built 1,010% on respect, but there's there's a chance. There's a chance that Kevin Owens might, flip out, freak out. There's a possibility that, a slim possibility, but I was kind of playing around about this, when I read a Twitter post about, Cody Rhodes in terms of his fanatic appearance. He did not really perform up to par, and he had a lot of disappointed fans. A lot of disappointed fans, talking about their frustrations on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it. Um, and I was like thinking, this could be a perfect way for Cody Rhodes to kind of, maneuver around the crowd and be like, you know what do you want from like, what do you want from me? I dethroned one of the best WWE undisputed champions that was the leader of the bloodline, Roman Reigns. What else do you want from me? And then Cody Rhodes at the end of Bash at Berlin completely beats the hell out of Kevin Owens and then thus embracing this kind of like, you know what? 2 years. We had 2 years of Cody Rhodes' story. We had 2 years of Cody being a babyface. We had two straight Royal Rumbles back to back. The victor was Cody freaking Rhodes. So there could possibly be a change. Maybe Cody Rhodes finds a way to, kind of be a little cocky a little bit. Kind of, has this, honestly, no one backstage can kind of defeat me. I am holding this company, this corporation, this wrestling promotion. The future is on my back, and I am Cody Rhodes, and I will never ever let down such and such and such. And then, like, he kind of comes off a little, kind of a little, I don't want to say the word because that's not appropriate. Kind of comes off a little mean. God, mean. Just saying the word mean does not it doesn't feel the same. And it does, but no, I'm just kidding. But and then just imagine Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble this year, taking on Cody Rhodes and having the roles reversed, where you have Cody Rhodes taking on Roman Reigns, where the fans are rooting for Roman to defeat Cody Rhodes, as opposite as it was at WrestleMania 40, where you had in Las no, not in Las Vegas, where you had in Philadelphia everybody believing in Cody's story, and I was just like, what about Roman's story? I don't know. I just feel like that would be a little interesting there. All right, kind of finishing this up a little bit quicker than usual. DLA Knight hit a promo. Santos Escobar was part of it. Street Profits prevailed. They will take on the Bloodline for those WWE Tag Team titles. At the end of the show, you saw Solo Sikoa come out, classic trap, and then Roman Reigns fell into the trap. He got put through a table. Obviously, you saw Jacob Fatu, assume his role as the enforcer in this new bloodline, led by Solo Sikoa. So, the Samoan Werewolf, obviously, the Samoan Werewolf is he's the difference maker in this new and improved bloodline here. But all in all, there was no help for Roman Reigns. And, there was not really any surprise in terms of that. Roman's physical capabilities just it just can't hack it. Just can't hack it. The numbers game did shine ugly in terms, in favor of Solo Sikoa. But Roman Reigns, this was kind of perfect for Roman Reigns. There had to be a point where he was going to go against the bloodline, should have got his ass kicked. And, 1010% this promo, it kind of made Roman a little human here. Like when he came back last week, it was in Roman's favor. He completely demolished the bloodline. A lot of people thought Solo looked a little weak. Tongaloa looked a little weak. So this crazy how this week we had Roman Reigns. Kind of seemed like, dude, like honestly, Roman's, he's human, just like you and me. So, it was a good promo overall. I feel like the build-up is getting pretty great. So yeah. All right, guys, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me as soon as we come back after this message. So hey, do not go anywhere. As soon as I find there we go. All right.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
All right. We are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, all the drama, storylines behind the curtain, and also superstar news, injury, statuses, and stuff like that. We talk here on the podcast. So yeah, make sure you tune in Monday through Friday. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Sorry, always have dinner before the podcast, and it always comes up, can kind of bite me in the butt a little bit. So, all right. So before we move on to our next topic, we're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw preview happening right now. 1010% cannot wait to watch it. But before then, I want to remind you guys to hit up this super chat box. It's super awesome. Honestly, we get a number of questions from viewers like you that come in during the show. Either if you have a burning question or it's super hot take in terms of professional wrestling, or just something you got to get off your mind. We here at the GSMC Sports Network, we are all ears here at the show. It's all about keeping the conversation going, keeping it lively, making sure your voice is part of the mix. So do not be shy. Drop your thoughts in the chat. If you really want to make sure your comment or question gets noticed, why not use this super chat box? Just hit that $ below that chat box, send in your message, and it's guaranteed to get featured on the show. Plus, it's a great way to support our channel. Your support and your super chats mean a lot to us, helps us keep the lights on in terms of podcasting and bring you even more awesome wrestling content. We are absolutely 1,010% super grateful to have each and every one of you who joins us here today. Your support means a lot to us, makes all the difference. So let's keep this party going. Let the good times roll. So let's keep this conversation at an absolute best. Send in those super chats, send in those super stickers because you guys are super awesome. And together we will make sure this show is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. And if the super chat is not your thing, remember we still are at the GSMCpodcast.net. Hit up that tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. To tip, donate, leave your comment, question. It would be obviously appreciated. So we honestly appreciate every little bit of your guys' support. So, can't wait to, can't wait to talk about that more. All right, so let's talk about our WWE Monday Night Raw preview tonight. We are live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, drawing closer to WWE Bash of Berlin, um, which is WWE's next PLE, August 31st at the Uber Arena in the German capital. And yeah, just kind of look at what we have so far. Heading toward, Bash of Berlin, we have Randy Orton taking on Gunther, the Ring General, is Austrian, but wrestled the majority of his career inside of Germany. Cody Rhodes will take on Kevin Owens. We also have Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley in a mixed tag team match, taking on Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. So obviously, we only had 3 matches. I hope it doesn't rear its ugly head and have only 5 matches or 6 matches, kind of like what Triple H Paul Levesque likes to do in terms of smaller PLEs that aren't Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, or SummerSlam, also WrestleMania. So I don't know. I just hope it's a good one. I just honestly hope it's always good. It's always good, but the fact that there's only 5 or 6 matches and it lasts about 3.5 hours to 4 hours, it's just not practical. WWE, I'm sorry, you can't do that anymore. You have AEW right now kicking ass in terms of the pay-per-view ratings. I'm not ashamed to say it, and I am a WWE fan primarily, but I think AEW pay-per-views are awesome. I think it's awesome. It's great. You have every title on the line, every single match has a stipulation, and it means something. WWE would just throw out like a singles match in the pre-show. They're like, honestly, we don't care. What do we have to prove? We're the best wrestling promotion. If you walk away, I don't know. I just feel like it's a little cocky. I feel like WWE right now is a little cocky under the Triple H Paul Levesque era. They need to honor the fans. They need to respect the fans and give us more matches on PLEs. Especially in Austria and France and Clash at the Castle in Glasgow. This is kind of like their WrestleMania. They don't get a chance to come, overseas so often. It's not that easy. So 1,010%, I honestly hope this PLE has more than 5 or 6 matches. Because if it doesn't, then we will riot. I'm gonna lead a riot, and I'm just kidding. No, I'm not gonna do that. But anyways, so here on Monday Night Raw, we're gonna have CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. We'll both make appearances. Obviously, we've seen this all before. Hopefully, it's not this same wash, rinse, and repeat kind of strategy that you've been seeing on Monday Night Raw, where one of them's hiding in the back, or one of them is you're not here, and then out of nowhere one of them comes in a car and runs the other person over, or puts the other one in the ambulance, or tells one of the interview girls like, hey, I'm not, I'm on the same flight as you, but I'm not going to make it. It's starting to become a little troublesome, to be honest. Because if you think about it, and the thing that CM Punk hates the most is that Drew McIntyre has his bracelet with his wife's name, his dog's name, no kid's name. And I'm not saying that, decipher, obviously, if you don't have kids, you don't have kids. But, so you're telling me that after all the scrutiny, after all the hazing, after, both of them, after, well, first Drew McIntyre injured CM Punk in the Royal Rumble. CM Punk was rumored to main event WrestleMania. That's gone. And then you had both superstars get injured. And then, they came back. So cool. And then you had CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre the WWE World Heavyweight Championship 3 times. That's cool, I guess. And then you had them waste the WWE Money in the Bank briefcase for the men's based on this feud. I, I mean, I guess I get it. And you're telling me as a wrestling fan, all we are fixating right now, all we should give a damn about is that Drew McIntyre has this bracelet of CM Punk. You know, I I don't know why I don't believe it. I don't know why I don't get. I don't know. I don't know why I'm not. Of course it has sentimental value. That's my dog Larry, girl. What are you talking about? That's my wife AJ. Like I do like. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little skeptical about it. Maybe I'm a little cynical, but I don't know. I just feel like this has to end. I felt like it could have been bigger and better, but obviously with injuries and stuff like that, no one really, could have predicted this. Who even knows if, CM Punk, if he would have never gotten injured at the Royal Rumble, maybe he would have been feuding with Seth Rollins at this moment, which is kind of crazy because Seth got injured as well. A lot of creative learning, a lot of creative, just thinking on the fly. And, I get it. I understand why it could be troublesome. Injuries happen. Obviously, and even in terms of sports, the NFL, baseball, basketball, hockey, the WNBA, like we can't foresee injuries happen. And sometimes you got to do things on the fly. And honestly, I believe 1,010% this rivalry between Drew and CM Punk was developed on the fly. I'm sorry. I just don't see how somebody 6 months ago was like, it'd be totally badass, dude. Yeah, let's have CM Punk feud against Drew McIntyre. And I think at that time they did not have his contract set up. So they're like, you know what? We're gonna sign Drew McIntyre just to make CM Punk's life a living hell. And you know what, Greg? Greg's gonna be like, what? We're gonna have Drew McIntyre steal CM Punk's, and Greg is like, no way, don't say it, don't say it ain't so. And he's like, we're gonna have to steal his bracelet, and then all hell's gonna break loose. I'm just kidding, no, just kidding, no. But I don't know. I just, me as a WWE fan, I think this is one of the storylines that I'm not too excited about. Obviously, two amazing athletic, competitors inside the squared circle. I'm not doubting that. I'm not disputing that. I just think, maybe it could have been a little more personal. Maybe add a little bit of blood, maybe a little bit. Like, I know they had the strap and stuff like that, hinting at a strap match heading toward WWE, maybe Payback or Bash at Berlin. But I don't know. I don't know. I will think I know. I just thought it could have got better. Could have got better. All right. So next we have, the WWE Women's Tag Team Titles are up for grabs. We have the Unholy Union compromised, no, uh, made of Isla Dawn and also Alba Fyre. They will take on Damage Control, this newly formed babyface, Io Sky, Kairi Sane against the Pure Fusion Collective, the PFC. What do you got of the PFC, dog? I'm just kidding. No, I think, it works. It works. Sheamus will be on the hunt for Pete Dunne. Also, we have Ludwig Kaiser wanted to take on Sheamus. Will we see the New Day break up tonight? Will we see the New Day break up tonight? It's a possibility, 1,010%. Obviously, Odyssey Jones, Xavier Woods feels like there's a little bit of, animosity because, he feels like Kofi's ultimately trying to replace Biggie Langston. Imagine if Xavier Woods and Odyssey Jones turn on Kofi Kingston tonight, or maybe you have, Odyssey Jones, maybe I'm expecting a curveball. Something's going to happen tonight and you're going to be like, oh, like, I did not think that was going to come. So I definitely think they kind of owe it to us, having the New Day fight this final testament over and over again. They kind of owe us the shock factor in terms of WWE creative. Next we have Bronson Reed. We are going to talk about Judgment Day drama with Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest talking mess to Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Kind of downplays the whole Finn Balor and Damian Priest feud a little bit, but maybe we'll get that sooner to payback. Or, sorry, Bad Blood. Sami Zayn and Jey Uso are looking for tag team title opportunities tonight. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Reporter reported that Seth Rollins and Dakota Kai are actually dealing with pretty scrutinized injuries here. So, everything's gravy here on WWE Monday Night Raw. We have the Wyatt Six, and also this is Pat McAfee's last episode of Monday Night Raw for quote unquote a while. So, we don't know how long that's going to be. Well, guys, do not go anywhere. We're going to talk about Eric's wrestling power rankings, the men's top 10 when we come back. So, hey, do not go anywhere.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
All right. And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time, here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling. So, guys, just to kind of reflect on what we talked about right quick, we had our WWE Smackdown review. Then we had our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. And now we're going to talk about my wrestling power rankings, the men's top 10. So, yeah, let's go ahead and dig on into the subject matter. It's going to be awesome. Obviously, if you guys have any, deciphering also your guys' takes in terms of who you think should be on this list, make sure you hit it up. Make sure you hit it up 1,010%. All right, but before we do any of that, I want to remind you guys to hit up this super chat box. It's super awesome. Hit up your super stickers because you guys are super awesome. Send in your message, and I guarantee it will be seen. It'll be talked about. It'll be featured on the show. Plus, it's a great way for supporters to support our channel. Your support means a lot to us, a hell of a lot to us. Keeps the lights on, and it brings us even more wrestling content that you guys love so much. And if you guys are not down with the super chat, we are also still at the GSMCpodcast.net. Hit up the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Obviously, Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Also follow the show, follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010% of the time. So go ahead and hit up that. And all will be well. All will be well. Honestly, just can't wait to find out what you guys have to say in terms of professional wrestling. So make sure you hit up that link, yo. All right, so we're gonna talk about our third segment here. We're gonna talk about our men's wrestling power rankings. At number 10, I got Obafemi. Not really much to kind of dispute in terms of why Obafemi is on this list. Still one of the hottest NXT superstars out there right now. The North American champion. He's right there catching up on Wesley's reign. And it's, I feel like it's kind of forthcoming. I think for sure it's going to happen. Right now, I don't really think anybody on the NXT roster could hang with Obafemi. I think overall NXT superstars should be just lucky that this guy isn't holding the NXT World Heavyweight Championship. So this is why I feel like he will never leave NXT. I feel like he's such a dominant competitor. I feel like he's, I don't know, he's just that steeple in terms of what NXT has to offer, especially when they make it back to when they make it to the CW in terms of television screen time and stuff like that. So at number 10, I got my man, Oba Femi. All right, at number 9. I don't know what's happening right. All right, there we go. At number 9, I got Ethan Page. Ethan Page is on my list at number 9. When Ethan won the championship, a lot of people, a lot of wrestling fans, I thought, were kind of fixated too much on the fact that, Ethan, he's a newcomer. Yeah, he was a newcomer. Also, he was from AEW. You had that promo with Alexis King, Shawn Spears, and him talking to Cody Rhodes in the back, saying that like, hey, like honestly, I'm an outsider, but do I belong here on WWE NXT? And Cody Rhodes was like, you know what? You kind of go out there and you kind of make that decision yourself, boys. And Ethan Page made that decision. He took the title away from Trick Williams at NXT Heatwave. Now, obviously, it was a fatal four-way match. You had Javon Evans, you had Shawn Spears, which was kind of weird because when Trick Williams went to go break up the count, Shawn Spears held him back, which was kind of like, okay, why do you want to do that? But overall, I feel like Ethan Page is a pretty special superstar. I feel like he kind of has that it factor to him that not a lot of people on the NXT roster, they don't have. I'm sorry, but they don't have. Trick Williams, yeah, he's won. Ethan Page, yeah. Javon Evans, yeah, he's cool, but he doesn't have that mentality. Shawn Spears, no. Brooks Jensen, no. Josh Briggs, no, not really, Wes Lee, I don't even feel like Wes Lee is an NXT World Champion. The person that kind of has that it factor to him. You did not see this on NXT with Ilya Dragunov. You see it, and I'm not, just because I'm a huge fan of Joe Hendry, but you see it on Joe. You see you just see all the hype with Joe Hendry. I feel like he would be an amazing champion. I feel like he's made to be NXT champion, the first ever TNA superstar to open that forbidden door and to claim himself as a WWE champion. And I don't know. I feel like it's a rat. I feel like it's the future. I feel like it's going to happen. And Ethan Page is going to usher in that. And obviously they met each other before inside of TNA. But I don't know. It's kind of crazy. At number 9, I got Ethan Page. At number 8, obviously one of my favorites to be on right now. The crazy, the sadistic, the always willing to do anything to surprise the fans. Also get him going. 1,010%. Mark Briscoe, the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, is one of my favorites to do it. He's kicking ass. He's doing great. I would put him number one every single time, but that would be like super biased, more biased than this list could possibly already be. But definitely love Mark Briscoe 1,010%. Think he's doing a great job as the face of Ring of Honor. So 1,010%, give him some credit. All right, next we have the LA Knight. The LA Knight, yeah, the United States champion is, once you have Logan Paul lose the championship at SummerSlam, which I didn't think was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen, but, they put the strap on LA Knight. So now who's he going to face next? My speculations is Carmelo Hayes, maybe Andrade in a triple threat match. Who knows? It's been a while since we saw the United States Championship belt being, defended in a triple threat match. I think it's been, I think Logan Paul actually did. But then the guy within the span of November to SummerSlam only defended the title 3 times. So that's kind of, it's kind of hard to kind of think all the way back. You're like, okay, what just happened? But I don't know. I like the LA Knight of what he's doing right now. 1,010%. There are other suitors that could possibly be a little more, applicable in terms of wearing that United States Championship. Honestly, I think of Santos Escobar. I think of Carmelo Hayes. I think of Andrade. I also think of maybe, Bronson Reed finds his way to come over. But like, it's just, I don't know. LA Knight, he's a good champion. No one's taking him away from that. Is it possible? Is it possible that he could possibly be outshined in the United States Championship? Maybe he should be fighting for, fighting with Cody Rhodes. I feel like that's more kind of like his style. That's more, in the main event, especially in WWE Smackdown. It's more of like a main event, kind of caliber. I feel like when WWE Smackdown moves to the USA Network, you're going to see a lot of scrutiny kind of having over Cody Rhodes, especially with this new deal between Monday Night Raw and Netflix. Netflix, they're demanding superstars, 1,010%. They want this bloodline drama on their brand. It kind of reminds me of like a Peaky Blinders show. Kind of reminds me of any show you see on Netflix. You're going to essentially have The Rock star in a limited series, in terms of professional wrestling that you don't really have to pay extra for. And The Rock said he's going to help usher in Netflix to Raw. And so did John Cena. So there's a huge possibility that this could be. I feel like, when you have Hikuleo, also you have, Lance Anoa'i, maybe, Zila Batu, waiting in the wings to start this bloodline civil war. They could damn near be waiting for a debut on Monday Night Raw. The first Raw aired on Netflix, and you have The Rock come out with his Fantastic Four. So that could possibly, be the future. But all in all, I love the LA Knight. I have the LA Knight at number 7. Number 6, I got Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the best wrestler in the world. I'm better than you, and you know it. But I don't know. I don't want to condemn him to death and be like, oh, he's gonna lose to Will Ospreay, because this match is huge. This match is huge, 1,010%. Heading toward All In on Saturday. No, I think it's on Sunday. What's today's date? The 19th. Yeah, Sunday. Sunday. It's gonna happen on Sunday. It should be interesting, honestly. AEW ever since MJF came back has been a way better product, and for that you can't really ignore that. You're like, all right, like so MJF is kind of the dude. At number 5, I got Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry still kicking ass on NXT, still kicking ass on TNA. This guy's a star. This guy's a star 1,010%. So get used to him. Get used to him, because I feel like once when the CW absorbs WWE NXT, I feel like it's going to be all downhill from here. I feel like Joe Hendry will be the face of NXT. I ultimately feel Trick Williams will. Well, I don't know if he's going to get drafted. I don't really honestly think any of these stars are going to be drafted, because why would you want to just basically put, it's kind of like teaching a kid how to ride a bike. And then you have these training wheels like, okay, I'll give you all these superstars. Okay, and I'm going to push you here. You just remember, we have CM Punk coming on the first show. We have Randy Orton on the second show. Are we going to get rid of Roxanne Perez? Are we going to get rid of Trick Williams or Oba Femi, or any other superstar? Like I don't think they're really going to do any of that. NXT. I think Sean really honestly loves the way Joe Hendry is around the crowd. The crowd loves the crap out of him. So definitely 1,010% think he's going to be great on NXT in the future. At number 5, I got Joe Hendry. At number 4, I have Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth recently lost at Triple Mania AA. He lost against, Alberto El Patron for the AAA something champion. I can't, hit the nail on it. But Nick Nemeth, he's worldwide, man. I love it. I love it. He came out with JBL. It's pretty badass. Gotta love Bradshaw Layfield. But the reason why I have Nick on number 4 is because I've been waiting so long for him to finally get that TNA gold. Honestly, don't want to see him lose to the Josh Alexander at Emergence. But they have a planned Iron Man match, so it should be pretty awesome. But as this moment I have Nick Nemeth at number 4. At number 3, I got Braun Breaker. I got Braun Breaker so high because I feel like he's going to hold that WWE Intercontinental Championship for, well, like ever. Can anybody beat him? Can anybody just match up to the intensity that Braun Breaker has right now? He's not a heel. He's not a babyface. He's the perfect in-between superstar that is perfect for the WWE right now in terms of whoever's holding the damn Intercontinental Championship. And it's perfect. I think it's going to be great for bookings. It's going to be great for, future pay-per-view matches and stuff like that. You could put him against the heel and be like, oh, Braun Breaker's the babyface. Or you could put him against the damn near babyface and be like, hey, Braun Breaker's the heel. But in reality, he's like the perfect mix. It's a perfect bride in between. 1,010%, a rising star it is that Braun Breaker is damn near making his family proud. Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, representing the WWE brand with absolute flying colors. All right, so at number 2, I got Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Still, still kind of having for me on the fringe a little bit. I read an article stating that he's kind of a boring champion. I don't think he's been a boring champion. I did think they pulled the gun a little bit too close on terms of Solo Sikoa, and all that kind of stuff. But WWE is kind of setting up for the big picture. It's to the point where this whole thing between the Bloodline, does it revolve around the WWE Undisputed Championship? I think not. No one gives a damn about the WWE Championship. All they care about is who's tribal chief and the little red chilies. Obviously, it's a pleasure to kind of have the championship on your waist. Yeah, sure, that's cool. But at the end of the day, Roman doesn't care about Cody Rhodes. He cares about taking what Solo Sikoa stole from him, which was the title of being the tribal chief in the Samoan dynasty, the Anoa'i family, the Maiavias, the Fatus. So, that's why I'm kind of like, you know what? That's why I feel like Cody Rhodes needs to have a storyline where he kind of comes out on his own. Maybe as a heel, as a babyface, he's been doing great. But or maybe you have Kevin Owens. I don't know. I think Cody Rhodes is not really going to be, kind of linked to this new Bloodline Civil War that they're building up toward until maybe WrestleMania. But I don't know. Anything can happen, so it's pretty badass. At number 1, of course, I have the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. My man Swerve Strickland, the main man, the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, on my power rankings as number 1. The promo he's been cutting, kind of promoting this Bryan Danielson match at AEW All In has been terrific. It's been absolutely 1,010% terrific. He puts himself in this heel spot where fans kind of like, yeah, you know what? I'm not too sure if I like Swerve. I'm not too sure if I like Swerve. But then at the end of the match at All In, you know damn well he's going to shake his freaking hand. Fans are going to be like, oh, he was playing us the whole time. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, that's how I feel like it's going to happen. And Swerve does such a great job inside the ring when he cut promos, when he did his, when he did his little smidge with Christian Cage, also Samoa Joe against the aerial assassin Will Ospreay, the former AEW International Champion. You saw Swerve Strickland just, kind of like, he seemed like that evil guy on the movie that was like, kind of petting his cat, kind of letting everything unfold in front of him. But at the end of the day, you're like, damn, this guy's a freaking genius. I'm sorry. At number 1, we have Swerve Strickland, and I have no regrets. I love Swerve Strickland. Definitely think right now in professional wrestling, he is the number 1 wrestler in the world. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our 4th segment. We talked about the dudes, we talked about the men. Now we're going to talk about the dudettes and also the amazing woman that is the Eric's Wrestling Power Rankings, my women's top 10 moving forward. So, grab your favorite drink, grab your favorite snack. Maybe, for me, it's Sour Patch Kids. Actually, today is National Potato Day. So maybe grab some potato chips in honor of this day. So, join me in about maybe like 20 seconds.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
All right. We are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling, all the action inside and, outside the ring. Also, superstar news, updates, rumors, contract statuses, injuries. We talk about it here on the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. So I'll just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We had our WWE Smackdown review. Then we had our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. We talked about the men's top 10 power rankings of the week. And now we're going to talk about my top 10 women's wrestling power rankings of the week, which is, which is pretty awesome. Obviously, in the chat, if I missed something, obviously, be like, hey, Eric, what the hell, man? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, dog? What are you doing? At number 10, I got Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale is still very much damn near one of the best wrestlers in terms of the women's division on AEW, New Japan Professional Wrestling, the CMLL, and there's one more. I can't think of it right now. Oh my God, Ring of Honor. Obviously the women's CML World Heavyweight Champion has a match with Chris Statlander heading toward AEW All In at Wembley Stadium, London, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be one hell of a match. You're gonna have that 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 monster, that guy that people hate so much. You're gonna have Stokely there. Oh, Stokely! No, just kidding. But 1010%. I loved how Willow Nightingale represented the AEW women's division before they kind of signed Mercedes Moné when she came back from that foot injury. Kind of did Willow Nightingale a little dirty there. Obviously, I knew, she, backstage in terms of her interviews and stuff like that. And, she's told wrestling reporters before, like, she's just happy that she has a place in AEW. She's humble as pie. She's cool as shit, cool as stuff. And like, then you have Mercedes Moné. You're like, Willow, sorry, we can't have this girl. That's a lot of more high maintenance than you are. You're gonna drop the title to her in her first title defense. Willow's like, you know what? That's cool. Like, it's fine. And then she goes out there and she wins the CMLL World Heavyweight Championship, which she will not lose. She should not lose against Chris Statlander, because if she does, I will cry me a river. I will cry me a river. Oh, cry me a river. I don't know. Justin Timberlake back in like early 2000s, I think it was. Well, all right. Anyways, moving on to number 9, I got Athena, the Ring of Honor World Women's Heavyweight Champion, still running on that long reign, still being historic AF. But I don't know. You can't really say too much about Athena because she's just so damn impressive. She's so damn successful. She wins. All she does is win, no matter what. And she does. And she does a great job. And she hits on the promos 1010%. You cannot hate this girl. Although every single, like, you want so bad. Like, I was I was a huge fan of Ember Moon in WWE NXT when she was with WWE. So I was, subconsciously, I'm kind of rooting for her. But when she had her match at Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor against Queen Aminata, I was like, you know what? I think the Queen's going to do it. I think she's going to do it. And then she did not do it. And I was like, damn, that's what happens when we bet against Athena, the Ring of Honor, the longest reigning Ring of Honor Women's Champion, one of the longest reigning champions in business history. Just imagine if she hits like 1,000 or something days, bigger than Roman, bigger than Bob Backlund, bigger than Bruno Sammartino, bigger than Hulkamania. That would be crazy. That's kind of cool, though. That'd be kind of great. I feel like that would overall benefit the company, herself, and also just wrestling fans all over the world. So definitely love that. At number 8, I got Mariah May. Mariah May, is she the new generation of AEW women's wrestling? Can she defeat Timeless Toni Storm at AEW All In? It's possible. It's possible, but without help. I definitely think Mina Shirakawa is kind of hinting at, kind of coming aboard to the Mariah May bandwagon board train. Woo-hoo! Oh, Lord, we got tickets. Who has our tickets? And Mina Shirakawa's like, oh, I have my ticket. We're going to take down Toni Storm. And Mina Shirakawa, during her promo on AEW Dynamite last Wednesday, she was like, oh, I'm just so scared. What are these two girls? I just respect them so much. Like, it was just seems so fake. It was like, dude, I can see right through you. Just kidding. No, but like, who gets worked up over like a Mina Shirakawa promo? I do. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. It's just cool. It's just kind of, it's a little wonky. But me, I'm a wonky ass guy, so I'm like, you know what? I buy it. I dig it. I'm a wrestling fan. You could probably tell me the sky is not blue, and I'd be like, no way, dude. And someone's like, gives me a compelling storyline. It's like, you know what? The sky was blue, but then, yada, yada, yada. Then it turned yellow, and I'd be like, I'm just kidding. No, no. I'm not a flat Earth thinker here. I'm not a Kyrie Irving here. I'm just kidding. Kyrie Irving, if you're listening to this podcast, I am completely sorry. I'm just kidding. No, but I don't know. Moving on. So we have Mariah May at number 8. At number 7, I got Tiffany Stratton during SmackDown. You saw her throw a celebration for her bestie, Nia Jax, the new WWE Women's Champion. And she did not back down. She did not kneel down. I was like, you know what? I appreciate all this, Tiffy, but I need you to bow down to me. I need you to bow down to me. And Tiffany Stratton was like, oh, okay, yeah, but we got pretty family. Like, and then they were doing their thing. And I liked the promo. I thought it was 1,010%. You can tell that the fans were kind of not wanting for Tiffany Stratton to kind of kneel down. Maybe perhaps it's going to be like the lesser of two evils kind of match heading toward here. But overall, what happened on Friday Night SmackDown at the celebration, I know for a fact that Tiffany Stratton will cash in her Money in the Bank on Nia Jax. I don't know. I feel like WWE kind of owes Nia Jax a little bit of a run here. I don't think she's had a title run longer than even when she was the tag team champion with Shayna Baszler. I I think they owe her a little longer of a title run than like 5 or 6 months. So that brings us to you know, this brings us to what happened in December, maybe Elimination Chamber. Maybe something happens and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just liked the promo. I thought it was pretty cool. We have Tiffany Stratton. All right. At number 6, we got Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné has been, in lack of a better term, kind of diminishing in terms of value. I used to like Mercedes Moné on her own. Recently, since she got her muscle and Camille, it's just not the same anymore. When you're a heel, you get yourself in like tight situations. The fans love that, and the fact that you kind of have this bodyguard to kick everyone's ass at will. It doesn't really make it that fun. But when you had, Sasha Banks get, surprise attacked by Britt Baker, DMD, and then, Sasha Banks finds a way to get out of it, or she finds a way to manipulate the promo to when she comes out on top. And like we don't really get that with Camille. Like I understand why you added Camille, Tony Khan, but I don't know. I just feel like Mercedes Moné to be a full heel, I but then again, me as a wrestling fan, I could be going on completely one way of the spectrum and the other one, because there's a lot of heels back then that had this kind of, strapping person to kind of defend them. Like, Big Daddy Cool Diesel with Shawn Michaels when Shawn Michaels was so ecstatic. It was like, you're my bodyguard. So at Triple H during Evolution, you had Batista. And then, like, yeah, I don't know. It's worked in the past. But right now, I do not know why. Maybe it's me being a little more skeptical in terms of watching Mercedes Moné because ever since she left WWE, a lot of people have a magnifying glass on her. A lot of people think that leaving WWE was a mistake by Mercedes Moné. But then Tony Khan, as soon as Moné debuted in the AEW, she won the championship right away. Now she's a New Japan Strong Women's Champion. She's a double champion, something that you never really, I haven't seen that on AEW, so I don't know, kind of, stroking the ego a little bit. Maybe perhaps they can find a way to kind of better suit this, especially with the promos. I don't want to keep seeing somebody get their ass kicked, heading up to, one of the biggest AEW pay-per-view, PLE. Well, it's not PLE, it's pay-per-view. They still charge us $50. Damn it. I'm just kidding. No. BleacherReport.com. I think you can buy it also on YouTube. So you can, check it on that. But Mercedes Moné, I have at number 6. Got to go rapid fire here. Running out of time. Rhea Ripley at number 5. I had her a little bit high for the past couple of weeks, but I got to be honest. I absolutely dread this mixed tag team match at Bash at Berlin. One of two things. One, I just don't think it's good. I don't think it does anything in terms of furthering this plot. And second of all, once again, WWE shows that once when they kind of go overseas, once when they kind of have these PLEs like Clash at the Castle, like Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, this and that and the other, like you kind of you don't get as much as you thought as you want. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I've had a lot of skepticism kind of moving forward, but I'm open to it. At number four, I got Nia Jax. Nia Jax, the Queen of the Ring, also the WWE Women's Undisputed Champions, going to kick total ass heading forward. At number three, I got Keelan Jordan, the NXT Women's North American Champion. Honestly, I think she's great. I think she's great 1,010%. She's gonna probably fight Wendy Chu at No Mercy October. No. September 5th? No. Damn it. September 1st. No, I don't know. I will definitely double check that for you guys. But at number three, I got Kaylani Jordan. At number two, I got the NXT World Heavyweight Champion Roxanne Perez. Still kicking ass on NXT. The two-time NXT Women's Champion is still causing some demolition. At number one, of course, we have the AEW World Women's Heavyweight Champion. Timeless Tony Storm. There's not much I can say about Tony Storm except that she's amazing, except that she's awesome. She's represented the AEW brand, and pretty great, pretty great. Who else do you have on the main women's division in terms of AEW? Recently they did have this partnership with New Japan Professional Wrestling, the CMLO, also Ring of Honor. So, there could possibly be somebody bigger and better than Tony Storm. Obviously, Mariah May is, in that category, looking to take the crown of the AEW princess from Timeless Tony Storm. But hey, only time will tell. Only time will tell. All right, guys, we are rapidly running out of time here. I still got one more segment for you guys. We have my Memorial Monday. We're going to talk about Afa Anoa'i, obviously one of the members from the Samoan dynasty, the Anoa'i family. Maya Veas, also the Fatus, did pass away August 17th? 17th at the age of 81. So we're going to respect his life. We're going to talk about it. And so make sure you do not press that dial. Do not go anywhere because we're about to, get into respect mode and talk about this amazing superstar that is Afa Anoa'i. So, hey, do not go anywhere. All right. We are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We had our WWE Smackdown review. We also had our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. Can't wait to watch it. Have it on record right now. I'm going in blind, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what the hell is going to happen, but I can't wait to watch it. So let's go ahead and jump on into my fifth segment. We're going to talk about, we have my Memorial Monday. We're going to talk about Afa Anoa'i, obviously passing away recently. Absolutely tragic, heartbreak to see. Like our WWE, WWF, he honestly wrestled all over the place, and I don't know. It's just crazy. We had a gem here. We had a gem here at the professional wrestling industry. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So the other wild Samoan Alpha passes away. He passed away, at 81. His brother Sikoa died in June. So yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy. I thought that was a little like when you're legends and stuff like that. It's hard. It's hard, especially for a family that has had basically their whole family in terms of professional wrestling. It's not easy. It's not easy. Afa Anoa'i He's a WWE Hall of Famer. With his brother Sikoa, they were an amazing tag team. They were the Wild Samoans. They were the face of the tag team division. They reigned supreme throughout their careers in the 1970s and the 1980s. After retiring, they did become promoters and trainers themselves. Afa actually trained his brother Sika, and they owned the World Extreme Wrestling. Also opened up the Wild Samoan Training Center in Florida, and I believe his father. I'm not should have fact checked this. I think his father actually opened up the first ever like religious like Samoa. I think it was in San Francisco. I think it was. Don't quote me on that. But I don't know. It's just overall these guys just going out there accomplishing great things. So I thought that was pretty cool. He was born on the island of Western Samoa, Trust Territory, November 21st, 1942. At the age of 17, Afa enlisted into the United States Marine Corps. He began training with Rocky Johnson, his cousin, Peter Maivia, his uncle. He was also trained by Kurt Von Steger and wrestled in his first match in 1971 in Phoenix, Arizona. He trained his brother Sika, like I told you guys. I thought it was pretty cool. Definitely gotta, love a brother in need. You could tell 1,010%. That's, I think, one of the main reasons that had this chemistry between him and his brother inside the ring, why they were so dominant all across the spectrum in terms of professional wrestling, New Japan Professional Wrestling, the WWF, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, before it became the WWF. And they wrestled, and I believe in Canadian, I think it was Bret Hart's father's promotion as well. Don't quote me on that. But no, I know these guys were amazing. These guys were amazing at exactly everything they did. They cared about their superstars. They cared about the students. They cared about their family. The moment that the family, the moment that his son, the cousins could walk, they were like, you know what, let's go train. Professional wrestling, in terms of the Anoa'i family, the Maiaveas, also the Fatus, has been prominent within their nature since basically the beginning of time. It's kind of crazy. Three things that you could definitely bank on in life is death, taxes, and the Samoan dynasty moving forward. Like I said, they have sons, nephews, even nieces. You have Nia Jax out there kicking ass. Tamina was pretty good. You also have the twins, the something twins or whatever. I'm not too. Oh, it's right here. Jeremiah Fatu. We also had the Kona twins, But no, it's 1,010%. Moving forward, you have a lot of things that you can look forward to in terms of what exactly did Alpha do to kind of leave his family with this legacy. And from the moment he went into the wrestling ring, he knew that it was for him. It was for him 1,010%. And the moment his brother stepped in with him after training him, it was over. It was over. You kind of have two amazing guys who are great at professional wrestling. This is their life. This is their lifeblood. It's the blood of the Maiaveas. It's the blood of the Fatus. It's also the blood of the Anoa'is. And it was only a matter of time until they wound up on top of the worldwide wrestling spectrum. Not even just in WWF, but most of all in wrestling. That's why they're so special. They've had over 20 world tag team title runs all across the spectrum of professional wrestling. Not a lot of people can say that. Definitely not 1,010%. Well, actually, a lot of the times people who would have to endure that kind of be like, you know what, I quit. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. But they stuck with it. His brother, Afa, Sika, absolutely dominant. They ruled the tag team division in the 70s and also the 80s, heading toward the late 90s. It was kind of crazy. It was great. Throughout the 1970s, the Wild Samoans wrestled for the Canadian Stampede Wrestling promotion under Stu Hart, the father of Bret Hart, for numerous. They also wrestled for a numerous amount of the National Wrestling Association affiliates in 1978. The Wild Samoans traveled to Japan, winning the IWA World Tag Team Titles in 1979. The WWF They were managed by Lua Albano. They had this unorthodox behavior. They communicated by using unintelligible unintelligible grunts. Unintelligible grunts, and they would consume raw fish before every single match during interviews, et cetera, et cetera. Kind of crazy, like just it seem like savages. Seem like savages. I think that's pretty badass. I love how become part of a character and stuff like that. That's why for me myself, I absolutely thousands of percent love the Fiend. The way he kind of sold that, that demonic kind of demeanor, Bray Wyatt. It just gets people into it, and it's cool. And I feel like that's something in professional wrestling that's a little undervalued now to this day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. But then again, I grew up during the Attitude Era and stuff like that. So, that's all you can hear from me. So they were the WWF Tag Team Champs. On separate occasions, they both challenged the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Bob Backlund for the championship. Like I said, on several occasions, but on separate occasions. Um, they left in 1980, wrestled in Mid-South Wrestling and Jim Crockett Promotions, returned to the WWF in 1983, regaining the WWF Tag Team titles. Sika suffered a leg injury, and his spot was supplemented by Afa's son, Samu. Also, they remained until they remained in WWF until 1984. Afa claimed that he lost his job because he missed work to attend the birth of his son, Afa Jr. They returned to WWE a third time in 1992 as a manager though, and an occasional tag team partner of the Head Shrinkers, Samu, and also the nephew Fatu, which is Rikishi. He wrestled in his final match in May 22nd, 1994. 2007. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. The Wild Samoans appeared at Hell in a Cell in 2020 to celebrate with Roman Reigns' victory in 1999. Afa and Lynn we started the Usos Foundation, a nonprofit organization that basically, was created to turn youth away from drugs, gangs, and poverty, providing scholarships that would help people kind of reach up to their full potential. Kind of make sure that they stay out of trouble. And, if after all that, if you have not realized that this guy was an absolute amazing guy, he's a dog. He's a dog inside the ring. Outside the ring, he was a compassionate, compelling, enthusiastic, empathetic, amazing man. That's something that, I think that comes with the Samoan culture. Nowadays, I feel like people don't really necessarily kind of have those same like morals kind of bestowed on them. Kind of like nowadays, you kind of have that, kind of all out for myself kind of like, you know what I mean? But for Alpha, for Sika, for a lot of this Samoan family, it was all about family. They kind of realized something that people in society should realize nowadays. And I'm not trying to make it political, but the way that we're going to further our society is if we have love, respect, compassion, and we care about one another. And that's something that's, Afa and Sika within their industry, either with the nonprofit organization that they ran or within their World Extreme Wrestling promotion. 1,010%, they were just out there, not for themselves, not for glory, not for, like when this person makes it big, they're going to, cash my checks and give me millions of dollars. No, they didn't care. They didn't give two scraps about that. They went out there, they made sure 1,010% that what they were doing was to benefit young, rising superstars. And most importantly, developing just amazing men that can go out there and just kind of reciprocate the behavior and the morals that they ultimately kind of bestowed on their children and stuff like that. So all in all, 1,010%, gotta give respect to my man Afa Anoa'i. Also, Sika back in it's so crazy how it's been a span of like 3-4 months, man. The brothers reunited in heaven, kicking ass. The Wild Samoans are in heaven right now. So, definitely gotta love and respect it. Gotta love and respect it. All right, guys. So, hey, that's it for me today. 1,010%. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday. Gotta love that. Yeah, honestly, oh, dang it, why doesn't it work? No! Remember to hit up that tips and donations link at the GSMC, podcast.net. Hit up that super chat. Hit up that, hit up everything. Hit up the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Love you guys. Love and respect the crap out of you. Here at the GSMC Sports Network. If, remember to Superman Flash, like and subscribe button first and foremost. And at the same time, also here at the GSMC Sports Network, we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010% of the time. And like I always tell you guys, if I have not made you a wrestling fan by now, we got football podcast. We got the NFL right around the corner, the Chip Shop football podcast with Manny. We got the GSMC football podcast with my boy Kenneth. We also have college football with my man Tommy. We also have basketball with Nelson. We have my man Chris Shepard with all your know-how in terms of fantasy sports from the GSMC Fantasy Sports Podcast. We also have the Andrew Tate podcast, the best mix between entertainment and sports mixed together. So why not treat yourself to a little bit of both? You get the best of both worlds. Don't want to seem like Miley Cyrus here, but you get the best of both worlds. I'm just kidding. No, don't want to. Throat's a little sore. I swear to God, I can hit that note. I swear to God. I'm just kidding. No, moving on. We got Emran coming up with the soccer podcast in 3 minutes. So make sure you guys stay tuned. 1,010%. We got Jeremy. We got my man, TJ, on sports, all around sports, from hockey, from baseball, basketball, track and field, to women's, everything. 1,010%. Make sure you hit up the GSMC Sports Network. Absolutely love you guys. 1,010%. Stay beautiful. But most importantly, love you.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't that